All right, so you guys wanted to get to the bottom of some pretty wild claims about Obama, ISIS, and Saudi Arabia.
Sounds pretty intense.
It is. So we went and found this video. It's from a channel called Right Wing News, and the host calls himself the voice of reason.
Okay, right off the bat, you can tell there's going to be a certain slant to this, right?
Well, yeah, this is definitely not like neutral territory.
Yeah.
But hey, that's why we're here.
Right, to like break it all down, see what they're saying.
Exactly. We're not saying we believe it or we don't. We just want to lay it all out, and you guys can decide what you think. Sound good?
Sounds like a plan.
Perfect. Okay, so the first big thing they hit you with is this claim that Saudi Arabia, they actually offered Obama troops and money to fight ISIS in Syria, but he said no.
Interesting. Any evidence to back that up?
They actually do. They pull up this statement from an advisor to the Saudi deputy crown prince.
Oh, wow. Pretty high level.
Yeah, and he was doing an interview with Brett Baer, so, legit news outlet.
Right, and what does he say exactly?
Well, the advisor says the offer remains on the table. So, like, it's not just some old story. It's current. Potentially, anyway.
Huh. Okay, so there's this offer supposedly hanging out there. What does the video do with that?
Well, that's where it gets kind of crazy. The host starts saying Obama actually wanted ISIS to grow, that he let it happen on purpose by, like, leaving a vacuum in Iraq.
A vacuum, like just open space for ISIS to move in?
That's what he's implying. And then he even brings the Clintons into it.
No way, really.
Yep, blames their policies for, all the problems in Libya and Syria, all that.
So he's connecting a whole lot of dots, painting a picture.
He is. And it's definitely a dramatic one, let me tell you.
I bet. Do they ever say W.H.Y. Obama would want this, though? Like, what would his motive be?
They get kind of vague on that part, but they definitely hint that maybe it's something to do with Russia.
Oh, so they're throwing Russia into the mix now.
They are. But again, not a lot of details to back that up.
So it's like they're suggesting this big conspiracy, but we only see glimpses of it.
Exactly. Like they're dropping bombshells, but without really explaining where they came from.
Makes you wonder what they're not showing, huh?
But it does. And then, get this, they throw up this image. It's this massive ISIS convoy, like tons of vehicles.
What, like a military parade or something?
Basically. They describe it as a snake.
Yeah.
So big you can see it from space.
Wow. Okay, that's quite the visual. What's their point with that?
Their whole argument is that, well, look at this convoy. All those matching uniforms, those Toyota trucks. Someone must be funding them. And who else could it be but the U.S.?
Ah, so that image ties into the bigger claim that America's secretly behind ISIS somehow.
You got it. The proxy war thing. Like,
Yeah.
we're using ISIS to fight Russia without actually, fighting them ourselves.
That's a serious accusation. I mean, if true, it would change a lot of people's understanding of what's going on over there.
No kidding. And the video doesn't hold back. They straight up accuse Obama of treason.
Whoa, treason. That's a huge word to throw around.
Yeah. And he even claims that. Like, all these generals and admirals, they agree with him.
Does he name any, like, specific people who've said this?
Not in this clip, at least. But he does flash some titles of other videos on his channel. Stuff about, like, military whistleblowers and whatnot.
So he's planting the seed, trying to get you to click on more of his content?
Exactly. And then they hit you with their final big point, which is all about how the media is covering this up.
The classic, they don't want you to know argument.
Yep. The video says the media, academics, even the government, they're all suppressing the truth about Obama, ISIS, and Saudi Arabia. And of course, they tell viewers to share the video like crazy to break through the censorship.
Classic move. Create the sense that you're the only one telling the truth, that everyone else is in on the lie. It's powerful stuff, especially for people who already feel like they're not being heard.
No doubt. So yeah, that's the gist of it. Quite the deep dive, right?
You said it. A lot to unpack there.
It's kind of scary when you think about it. Like, if they're right and all this is being hidden, I mean, what else are we not being told?
Right. It makes you think, doesn't it? But okay, let's back up for a sec. Like, some of these claims, they're pretty out there. Let's start with the whole Obama intentionally letting ISIS grow thing. I mean, come on. That seems like a stretch.
I was thinking the same thing, like, what evidence do they even have for that?
Well, they keep talking about this vacuum in Iraq. Like, Obama's policies just left this empty space for ISIS to move right in. But honestly, that's way too simple. It ignores, like, a ton of history and context.
Yeah, it's not like ISIS just popped up out of
So
nowhere.
exactly. You've got the Iraq War, the whole mess in Syria, all these different groups fighting, blaming Obama for all that. It just doesn't add up.
Like blaming a flat tire on the last person who filled it with air, right?
Ah, exactly. There's so much more to the story, and that's why you got to be careful with these simple explanations for complex events. There's always more going on than meets the eye.
Okay, so what about the whole proxy war thing? That the U.S. is secretly funding ISIS to fight Russia. I mean, they show that convoy, the snake, they call it, as proof. But ISIS could have gotten all that stuff, the trucks and uniforms, in other ways, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, conflict zones are chaotic. Stuff gets captured, sold on the black market. Who knows?
So just because they have a bunch of Toyotas doesn't automatically mean America gave them to them?
Nope, not at all. It's way too much of a leap to go from that image to saying the U.S. is behind it all.
But, okay, let's play devil's advocate for a second. Let's say they're ISIS, some kind of proxy war happening. Why would the U.S. use ISIS? They're brutal, they're dangerous. Doesn't that seem risky? Not to mention morally wrong.
It would be incredibly risky, and honestly, yeah, it would be morally reprehensible. That's why a lot of experts don't buy this whole proxy war theory. It doesn't make sense strategically or ethically.
Yeah, it's like America's whole thing is fighting terrorism, right?
Yeah.
It wouldn't make sense to then turn around and use terrorists for their own goals.
Exactly. It'd be like saying you're vegan, but then secretly grilling burgers in the backyard.
Uh-huh, right. And don't forget, the video also claims that Saudi Arabia offered troops and money to fight ISIS, but Obama said no.
Oh, right. If the U.S. was running this whole proxy war thing, why wouldn't they take the help?
It just doesn't add up.
It doesn't. It's
Yeah.
like they're trying to say the U.S. is both secretly funding ISIS and refusing help to fight them, which, come on, doesn't make any sense.
So there are definitely some holes in their story.
Definitely. And that's why it's so important to think critically, to look for inconsistencies, and to ask tough questions. Don't just accept things at face value.
Okay, but what about the Saudi offer itself?
Hmm.
I mean, the video makes it sound like a no-brainer, like, hey, free troops and money, let's do it. But I'm guessing it's not that simple in the real world, huh?
You're right. International relations are complicated. It's not like ordering takeout. There are all these factors to consider.
Like what?
Well, for one, accepting military help from another country, it can be seen as a sign of weakness. Like, you can't handle things on your own.
So kind of like asking your neighbor to help you move a couch. It implies you can't lift it yourself.
Exactly. And then there's the political side of things, like accepting help can make you feel obligated to that country. It can limit your options in the future.
And it could mess up your relationships with other countries in the area.
Oh, for sure. And then there's the logistics of it all. You know, different armies, different training, different languages. It can be a real headache trying to make it all work.
So even if the offer seems good on paper, there might be reasons to say no.
Lots of reasons, yeah. It's all about weighing the pros and cons and making the best decision you can with the information you have.
Okay, that makes sense. But what about the treason accusations? The video host says generals and admirals have accused Obama of treason, but he doesn't actually name any names. Isn't that a pretty serious thing to say without proof?
It is, definitely. And we need to be clear, treason is a specific legal term. It's not just like disagreeing with the president. It means betraying your country, like helping the enemy.
So it's a really big deal. You can't just throw that word around.
You can't. And to accuse someone of treason without any evidence, that's irresponsible. It's meant to make people angry and distrustful, not to have a real conversation.
Which brings us back to the whole media control thing, right?
Yeah.
The video says all this is being hidden by the media, academics, the government. But if that's true, why? Why would they hide this?
That's a good question. Like, if this info was really so explosive, wouldn't more people know about it? Are they really trying to keep it a secret? Or is there maybe another explanation?
Like maybe the evidence isn't as strong as they're making it out to be.
Possibly. Or maybe those claims have been debunked, by other sources. Or maybe it's just not as big of a deal as they're making it seem.
So before jumping to the conspiracy conclusion, we got to consider other possibilities.
Exactly. Ask ourselves, is this the whole story? Or is there something else going on here?
Yeah, it's tough. Like, there's so much information out there these days, it's hard to know what to believe.
Oh, it's a minefield out there, for sure. But there are some things you can do, to sort of navigate it all.
Like what? Give us the tips.
Well, the first thing, always look at the source. Like, who's telling you this? What's their deal? What's their background, Do they have a reason to, spin things a certain way?
Right, like in this case, we know this video is coming from, well, A pretty right-wing perspective.
Exactly. Which doesn't automatically mean it's wrong, but it does mean you got to take it with a grain of salt.
Like, maybe they're not telling the whole he story.
Right. It's like listening to your buddy who always tells those crazy fishing stories.
Ha, I know the type.
You enjoy the story, but you don't necessarily believe he actually caught a shark with his bare hands.
Right. Okay, so check the source. What else?
Okay, once you've kind of sussed out the source, look for evidence. Like, what are they basing their claims on? Are those facts even accurate? And are they giving you the whole picture or just the parts that fit their story?
So it's not just what they say, it's how they back it up.
Exactly. And that's where things can get tricky online because it's so easy to like cherry pick data to only show the stuff that supports your side.
That's why it's important to, like, do your own digging, read different sources, see if the facts actually match up.
Right. It's like putting together a puzzle. You need all the pieces to see the whole picture. You know what I mean?
I do. Okay, so check the source, look for evidence. Anything else?
One more big one. Even when you think you have the facts, try to think of other explanations. Like, could there be another way to interpret what's happening? Maybe other factors involved that they're not mentioning?
So even if their story sounds good, there might be more to it?
Always. There almost always is. And that's what critical thinking is all about, right? It's not about being right all the time. It's about being open to new information, different viewpoints, and, being willing to change your mind if the evidence points you in a new direction.
So big picture, after going through all this stuff about Obama, ISIS, Saudi Arabia, what's the main thing you want people to take away from this?
Honestly, information is power, right?
Yeah.
But only if you know how to use it. Don't just believe everything you see. Be curious, be a little skeptical, and always try to understand the whole story.
I like that. Don't just be a passive consumer of information. Get in there, wrestle with
Yeah,
it.
exactly. And hey, you don't have to have all the answers right away. It's about asking the right questions, thinking things through, and forming your own informed opinions.
Love it. Okay, so before we wrap up, any final thoughts for our listeners? Something to, like, chew on after the episode's over?
How about this? Think about what it would mean if this information about Obama, ISIS, Saudi Arabia, if it really IS being suppressed, like the video claims. Who would want that? And why? What does that tell us about, how the world really works? Pretty deep stuff to think about.
It is. Well, thanks for taking us on this deep dive.
Anytime. These are the conversations we need to be having.
Couldn't agree more. And everyone listening, thanks for joining us. Keep those questions coming. Keep challenging what you hear. And as always, keep diving deep.